all you guys go back to LA, your home turf, and if you lose, we will ban you from the Summerfest.
He'll be banned from SummerSlam is what you're saying.
SummerSlam down!
Welcome back to a little bit of a change in pace in Beyond the Beermat. We are literally, we're in a groove now, 4 episodes in, and we've decided, even though the sun has come out on a truly sensational day, we have to move inside, and we are in very much a much quieter and better location for recording purposes and also general mirth purposes. My name is Stuart Quigley, and alongside me is
The Bill. I thought it was time for a superstar shake-up, and it's time to get rid of Matt and replace him with The Bill.
That's very good promo there. I'll take that. That's fine. Enough to just sort of let him know that, you know, if he doesn't up his B+ game, then we could see a proper
B+, D- more like.
Jeez, you went all in.
I tell you what, them birds in the background were better on the first episode.
Oh man, that is some deep cuts. Not only to Matt, but my own personal editing skills. I feel genuinely aggrieved. Setting up all the feuds here today, which is quite ironic enough. Pretty much what we're talking about. We're going to absolutely have no messing around today. We're going straight into this because we've got. We're not exactly going to be the most topical wrestling podcast of all time, but it just apparently it's that season and it's that time of year where a lot of things are happening. We've absolutely destroyed WrestleMania, and on Raw and SmackDown this week we had our annual. I don't know.
Shake-up?
I didn't want to say that because it sounds terrible, but but go with their official name.
Say it as it is.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah.
Say what you see.
Jeez. Thank you, Seamus catchphase.
Roy Walker.
Well, they're fine with that. As to say what I see in terms of wrestling, we could be in for a very negative podcast, a very bad time.
You'd be in for an arty Sue.
Jeez, no. What? It's my own goddamn opinion. Clarence Mason, it's not coming for me anytime soon. Right. Here's the question I do want to ask, though, before we do get into the details of this superstar shake-up, as it were. Like, from a sports perspective, playing this as it was real, how does this work? There's no sort of drafting process. It's not like NBA or NFL or any of the American sports where it's like, SmackDown was shit last year, it receives the first pick. Raw was shit this year. Actually, to be fair, they both received the first pick. Are we supposed to believe that Angle and Page and all these general managers, Stephanie McMahon, are actually making deals, or is it just a case of like lottery balls going into things? Because if it is a case,
it's picker they want.
No, I know they do because they did it like they do it all the time. But I'm just thinking, I feel frustrated because I want to know what the actual process is, and if it's literally just bingo balls, I want to see that segment.
Oh, I always had the impression that someone just handpicked their superstars from the other show, which is why Kurt Angle picked Jinder Mahal as number 1 because AJ Styles just sucks, don't it?
Yeah, he had the choice. Here's what you could have won.
You can have the best in the world, but no, I'm going to pick the guy that was champion last year. There we go. Which makes perfectly good sense.
That's the problem. Again, there are many problems when you try and analyse wrestling from a legit sporting perspective, but they could at least try a little harder, I think.
I know, I understand what you're saying, but
it would at least make for some hilarious backstage segments, as opposed to just
hilarious. Jinder Mahal was number 1 pick. That's hilarious.
No, it doesn't work for me though. If he just comes out and goes, "Right, lads, I'm here now." He didn't say it like that.
Yeah, he demanded a limo, and he got a bit of hate off the crowd, didn't he? He did all right. I was quite surprised how his promo skills have improved since I'm the 3-man band, baby.
Yeah, it says a lot.
That's the wrong guy, but there we go.
Technically, he was there. He was in the vicinity of that. I would like to point out, actually, that I've just realised Jinder Mahal was the world champion, was like US champion, spoiler alert, and yet he's still never going to eclipse 3-man band for me. That time when they were performing in that bar, which I'm pretty sure they weren't performing.
They should have travelled the world as a gimmick doing that.
Oh man, yes.
It was Kurt Henning's I Hate Rap. What was that group called?
I know the No Limit Soldiers were involved, but that wasn't them.
They were the 2011 equivalent of that.
2011?
I don't know when it was.
felt like a lot. Felt like going back in time, I tell you. Jeez. Who knew that Heath Slater could be the be-all and end-all of amazing gimmicks?
Well, he's got kids, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, again, like, how'd you get that over? But, like, apparently, that's the storyline for another day.
Rhino did it all.
Jeez. Rhino, good on.
Rhino stubbed me in a bar once. I've got no respect for that guy. His quads are huge, needlessly huge, but I've got no respect for that.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, his quads are huge, but his interest in you is equally not as huge.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's intense. Okay, we're gonna...
Sorry, I just wanted to get Rhino stub me in a back.
Generally speaking, that's a good sentence, whether you're referring to the fact that actual wrestler Rhino snubbed you in a bar, or on the off chance that you're having a drink in the Serengeti, and there's a Rhino charging, but he snubs you, and that would be perfectly fine as well.
It would be equally as good.
I tell you what, you might shit yourself a bit more if an actual Rhino was at the bar, although actually, have you seen the size of Rhino?
I don't know, his quads look pretty big, man, Nick.
Jeez. Who could we be on about? The animal or the creature in Africa?
Yeah, it sounds like I've been looking at Rhino's quads for years on this thing.
you get called down for dinner. Can you come down for dinner? No, I've got to stare at these quads for another 20 minutes. Some people go home and do homework. You go home and do quad work.
I'm just jealous. I want some workout tips.
Jeez. I don't even know how you, even begin to... I imagine it starts with, eating the equivalent of what an actual rhinoceros eats. And somehow it all goes to your legs.
You just squat seats later for hours.
That sounds horrible in every sense.
It doesn't sound good, does it? Sorry, that's made me really laugh for some reason.
Do you know what the sad part is that at no point when I was doing a wrestling podcast did I think that the enjoyment would be actually at a level where people would be actually laughing. I'm used to watching wrestling and being like, yeah, right. Actual enjoyment was never on the cards.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah, exactly. I could be a cynical bastard if I want to be. In fact, generally speaking, 24 hours a day. I'm almost as a cynical bastard as you were watching Rhino's quads.
I'm not extroverted, Jesus.
Everything comes back to it. And yeah, well, speaking of which, I'm going to have to bring it back to it. We've got, and we know, the whole idea of trying to make it legit and the whole, let's be perfectly honest here, this is one of the things that really fucked me off. And I've just got to get this off my chest. You're talking about what you've got to do. This is what, the actual draft itself, whenever they do it, or whenever they have done it, because what they used to do was brand split, and then every year they do another, a redraft thing. And it always annoyed me that, there was no rhyme nor reason in that. So at the very least, what they've done is they've gotten rid of it completely and just gone, here are, some guys are now on this show, some guys are now on this show, and guess what? I'm still not happy with it. So that's basically the underlining deal of that. We know that, they're going to move people around to get certain positions have opened on certain shows. Very specifically, when one person goes to SmackDown, I think that's very specifically wouldn't have happened, I don't think, if a certain wrestler hadn't been cleared, but we'll get onto that later. Generally speaking, it's a case of we want to see fresh matchups, and the easiest way to do that, if you're... The problem I have fundamentally, actually, with this is, aside from everything else I've just bitched about, that they don't really treat the brand split like a brand split anyway, do they?
They don't, no, but then they're trying to turn away from it, aren't they? With the pay-per-views. There's no brand for specific pay-per-views this year, are there? After WrestleMania, obviously. But... No,
they're not. It's just... I think it would be better... I could be wrong on this. I think it would be better if brands were completely separate from each other.
I completely agree. I think that what they've done this time around, the superstars have swapped over. I think it's made up for some really good matches.
Potentially.
I don't think this is a bad thing.
Oh, no, not at all. For as much as I've just spent the last opening of this podcast just shooting it down from both a logistical standpoint, a practical standpoint, every standpoint you can have, I've just shut it to shit.
Yeah.
But realistically speaking, this is what we want.
Yeah, you want fresh matchups. I want to watch Jinder Mahal beat Roman Reigns and all the time. No, not really, but
yeah, I was going to say.
I wish Jinder Mahal would go away. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's not just Jinder Mahal. I think it's come out to right. Zayn and Owens, right? I think Zayn and Owens going into WrestleMania, that was one of the best feuds going in.
And very, almost underwhelming in terms of the actual result.
Yeah,
because
Shane McMahon stood toe-to-toe 10 minutes with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
I actually think that no one will remember that in 3 months.
No one will remember that because they're going to be feuding with Kurt Angle at that point.
Jeez.
That's what's going to happen. That sets it up on...
I'm fine with that.
Oh, that'd be great. I told you, I like Sami Zayn. I think he's a great wrestler. Mm-hmm. And I like his sarcastic gimmick.
His sarcastic gimmick.
I think it'd be interesting coming and feuding with Kurt. No doubt Bobby Lashley will get involved at some point because he's got nothing to do at the minute except beat people up because he's big.
There's a really interesting suggestion here for WWE, and this has only just occurred to me, and I don't know whether they do this or not, but given Kurt Angle mentioning TNA...
Are they Impact Wrestling then?
Oh yeah, no.
That's why you can get away with that.
At the end of the day, who gives a rat's ass? But the idea is that, Rio. Feels like podcasting is just trying to warm me up by naming people I don't like.
He's a good wrestler.
You only named one person I don't like, but it's enough.
Best Mexican wrestler since Rey Mysterio.
I can't actually disagree with that, but that hurts me a lot.
There we go then.
Yes. It doesn't really change any of my opinions of him in any way. But you could, if you wanted to, bring Bobby Lashley into that and have a Bobby Lashley car and go, oh, we knew each other from that Fed that I'm mentioning now.
I could bring Sting back.
Jeez.
And
Main Event Mafia.
Yeah, that'd be good. There's Samoa. Oh, he's just SmackDown now.
Oh, they've ruined it.
Really ruined the brand split in there.
God damn it. We could have had Main Event Mafia or
Booker T in and he could fight Corey Graves. And
I'm not. You've not said the true genius of this yet. We get Scott Steiner back on Raw.
Oh man, those numbers would add up if that was the case.
Those numbers would spell ratings, I tell you.
Steiner Mania.
He's a true hero. Right. I think the funny thing is that we're talking about like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and the possibilities that there are there. But I do think one of the chances that they may have, and eventually this will all come back around because Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will fight forever, as it's just going to happen. And I do kind of like that.
Batman and the Joker.
Yes, but I do think there is an element here, especially when you look at who Raw have ended up with, that the tag team scene doesn't need them because Raw has drafted heavily tag teams and sort of people that are now going to be suddenly associated together and could be. And almost everything you look at, Jinder Mahal, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn aside, is sort of an addition to that. And the funny thing is that Raw isn't lacking star names in the tag team, which is why I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn may sort of drift apart for now. But then what we get is a huge bolster to a division that includes like Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt in there.
Yep.
And
what do you think of that, just out of interest?
I think it's really clever from WWE because they want to do the Jeff Hardy thing, but not yet.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when we got the Hardy Boys coming back at WrestleMania a couple of years ago, it was, when are we going to get Broken Matt Hardy, when are we going to get Broken? And because Jeff Hardy was such a big part of that, we just assumed that we'd get it all in one. And it's much cleverer, especially when we've waited so long to just get Matt Hardy in this particular position, that, why not just, like, Matt Hardy can do his own thing for a bit, and then I'm just throwing it out there, because I won't be the first, everyone will have said it, next year will be Matt and Jeff, and we might actually get to see a decent match out of the two.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, is you've got, not only have you got the Fashion Police, who I think on Raw, I love the Fashion Police.
I know you do, but why?
That just make me laugh.
It's funny for 5 minutes. They're not wrestlers, though, are they? It's a gimmick. There's nothing wrong with the gimmick, by the way. I respect what they're doing. They're good at what they do. But they're not. They're average wrestlers. Their job is in there, let's face it.
I'm fine with that. We were talking about Heath Slater earlier. Like, it doesn't matter. You can be that guy and still be just... So, at the end of the day, there are certain people that would love to have a long-term role with the company. And I'm not saying that like the Fashion Files have got it, but someone like Heath Slater's got it now. He's entered into that role, and they could easily sort of be part of that as well. You don't need one; you need a few. And
Truth, Gold Dust, people like that. Yeah, you do.
People that just hang around.
I agree. They're people like that. Yeah.
And I like the idea that what you get on when you look at like the whole sort of way they've done this on Raw. Raw didn't really need the main event touching because you've got Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, to be honest. Yeah. You've got Braun Strowman lurking in the background, quite literally lurking. Yeah. So why not just actually try and do something with the tag division that has been... It's funny because even though Raw has the biggest stars, you look at SmackDown and what they've been doing in the tag division, like with not a great deal. You're talking about like the Fashion Police and that. Yeah. And I dread to say this, but a couple of years ago, you would have said this about the Usos.
When the Usos came out and did the Hacker, yeah, it was good, it was kid-friendly, but did you really treat them as a threat? Not really, but now they've gone to SmackDown, they've chosen a gimmick, and they've chosen a style, and they look ruthless, they look like a threat. And if they were going to fight you, I know it's kayfabe, so to speak, but you treat them as a threat now. It's
funny, actually, you mentioned this, because I don't know if this is a conscious move from the WWE, but I would have thought that if you're going to do tag teams, or if this is your way of doing it, bring them over to Raw. I want to see him interact with Roman Reigns like this.
Roman's got to turn heel if that's the case.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why that feels like that's why they've been specifically kept apart.
I sent you a promo last night. right, of Roman Reigns acting like a heel in NXT, right, and he could speak. It's like his magic potion. He could actually speak, and it looked good. He looked natural doing it. I think the way he comes across in an interview, just chewing gum and acting cocky, big chain on. I think he's
fundamentally
for it.
Fundamentally, and this goes into what we're saying about the Usos as well. It's really hard to cut a face promo. It's really hard to be a face.
That's why I try and act heel all the time.
Yes, yeah. See what you get your moves in on Matt like straight away.
This is exactly it.
Yeah, you went straight for it. So with that in mind, then again, like keeping the Usos apart and keeping this, but what it does show you is Usos going to SmackDown, Usos having that change, having that time, and this seems to be the way. I don't know if this is intentional. It can't possibly be really, but it just seems to happen.
Yeah.
You go to Raw as whatever you are, whether you're a jobber, whether you're a main event, or whatever you are, you go to Raw as the finished package. You go to SmackDown
Raw's the A show, yeah.
To sort of not learn, because you were already good enough to be on the main show in the first place, but when you go to SmackDown, that's why SmackDown sort of always excited me. It's like the whole, they're the B show. I'm a WCW mark, I don't care, so I was always going to like root from like the underdog and from the ground up in that regard.
Yeah.
And if SmackDown was ever going to be treated as legit, and if the brand split was ever going to be treated as legit, and that's possibly why I actually don't like when they don't treat it, because I want SmackDown to be legitimate. But in any incarnation it's been in the brand split era, because you get to see guys do things and perform to a level. Like Jinder Mahal would never have had that chance either.
I'm Raw, no, he wouldn't. I agree with that. I know you're the host, alright, but what do you think of Dolph Ziggler coming to Raw?
Are you just setting me up for like the biggest slam of all time here?
I might be.
Okay, fair enough.
Whatever you're going to say, I want to make a point after about McIntyre with him as well.
I think I know what your point's going to be, and I'll just
Michaels
sort of
and Diesel?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right, okay, I'll get my point out of the way first, which is Dolph Ziggler, to me, is quite possibly the most frustrating, the most annoying now, because it's gone too far, the most missed opportunity bullshit, almost of all time.
All time?
I think the problem is that like with older characters...
Surely Kurt Hennings a bigger missed opportunity, or Ted DiBiase or Jake Roberts about pulling the trigger. Problem
with that is that they had less opportunities, so their opportunities were limited. This guy...
When you say less opportunities, do you mean because of Hulk Hogan, or...?
I mean, potentially there may be an orange mustachioed fella in the way there. Maybe. But if we exist in a world where, and this is what I believe, where The Miz has gone from reality TV to hated, to loved, to hated again and written off.
Who loved The Miz?
WrestleMania Hate Me Now promo.
Oh, that was a good promo. I didn't love The Miz because of that.
I think around that sort of era.
I love the rut ruining the finish of the match. But that was
another time.
That was great.
Okay then, that sort of era when Miz was the champion, when he fought Jerry Lawler, did you not think that he was the guy then?
No, because I wanted Jerry Lawler to win that match.
Isn't that what the Miz is supposed to do though?
Yeah, but Jerry Lawler's at 83.
Either way, the point I'm trying to make is he had a rise, then he had a fall.
I agree.
This is a guy who, after that WrestleMania sort of, not a tailspin, but he's not doing anything.
No.
Right?
No.
And then he comes back to do all this. And again, this is what we're saying, SmackDown was very much a part of that. So you're telling me, in all that time where the Miz has managed to do that, Dolph Ziggler can't do half of that?
I agree with you. I actually agree. I like Dolph Ziggler. I think he's a great wrestler. I think he can talk if he gets the opportunity. Oh, you said about The Miz. The Miz went out his way, didn't he? Mm-hmm. He cuts the promo.
Yes, again, yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, all he does is go to... When we went to Access at WrestleMania 28, because we were in Miami, brilliant. All he did was stand on a stage and go, "I'm Dolph Ziggler, love me. And I like the guy, but that was just, alright mate, stop crying for attention, calm down, will you?
The thing is that like his gimmick as it is, it's basically just like a 6-year-old cosplaying Shawn Michaels. And that's kind of why I'm not selling the Shawn Michaels Diesel thing as much as you, because I'm just like, he's been doing that for years, and
he's been trying to be Shawn Michaels for years.
But like that's not a gimmick.
Super Kit was a coincidence, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think the thing that frustrates me is, and I think the easiest way to do this, and I sort of don't want to break the brand here. Most simple comparison to make, right? He is Arsenal. He has the potential.
I agree with that. I agree.
but for one reason or another will never fulfil it.
Yeah.
And the longer that goes, the less sorry I feel for you. The other thing is, I've said this before, but this is the first time I'm actually going to vocalise this on audio. I think Dolph Ziggler needed to be released at some point and needed to go somewhere and find
his smile.
No, not well, no, he's not going to imitate Shawn Michaels that much. But just be the big guy in a smaller federation. Be the guy that people go and see, because if he's an independent, like, people will pay money to see him. He's never been
like Cody Rhodes.
Yes, 100% like Cody Rhodes. There's numerous people that have done it before. Drew McIntyre's been and done it.
Yeah, he still don't get Drew McIntyre.
What's there to get?
He puts on a decent match. There's no, like, I don't know. I don't feel the guy. He's boring to me. I don't know. I'm just going to say it. He's boring.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like Drew McIntyre.
I think at the end of the day,
I think the guy can wrestle. I'm not knocking his ability, but
another 3-man band.
Jesus, they're all over the place.
There's only 3 of them, but it feels like 300.
Yeah, it's just.
I think from what you've seen in the WWE ring, you've been given no reason to like him.
He just comes across as a guy who stares really angrily. There's nothing to it.
You could that not narrows down like 90% of wrestlers.
Braun Strowman looks like he's going to kick your head in. Drew McIntyre looks like he's going to have a haggis or something.
Jeez, you can tell just by looking at him.
You just tell, can't you? Haggis and a whiskey.
Certain people would say that's a very good afternoon.
I think that's a good afternoon to me, included.
Oh, fair enough, okay. Then
I like haggis, I like whiskey.
Okay. You just don't like Drew McIntyre?
Don't like Drew. Exactly, yeah.
Fair enough. 1 + 1 = 2.
There we go, we got there in the end.
And I think this could actually be not quite the making of Dolph Ziggler, because that's a really bit of a stretch. And also, by the way,
could be. I actually think it could be. Let's start with the IC title, haven't they, Raw?
Yes. I just want to point out, by the way, just in case anyone listening actually turns around and says this, right, I fully understand that I have no right telling Dolph Ziggler how to run his career, by the way. So if anyone wants to just get on that, then I don't know, I've got 2 words for you.
You're here to tell the world.
Yeah.
5.
Oh, 5 words, okay. I'm not being funny, actually, by the way, just to get this out of the way. That music is, like, probably in my top 5.
I think it's 6, actually.
God damn it. Can't even... that music is in my top 5 of songs that, once they get stuck in your head, are there for a while.
I agree with that, actually.
Yeah, so he does have the theme music edge.
Do you know what I've discovered?
Go on.
I have to get the train from Birmingham Airport into Birmingham New Street every day. So I have to jump on West Midlands trains.
Okay.
And when the door makes the sound to open, it goes dun dun dun. I sing Shinsuke Nakamura's head music in my head. Dun 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 dun. And away we go.
The problem you have is if anyone joins in and you think, I thought I was weird, this guy must be really weird.
Well, funny you say, just to go off subject, I went camping a few years ago with a few friends. And one of them I knew was a wrestling fan. And someone there had a lantern. And I went, look, it's Bray Wyatt. And he laughed. And you saw a couple of people laugh over the other side, and you instantly know they're a wrestler.
Yeah, yeah. So the worst part about that is, in sort of any other thing where you recognise that there are people that share the same interest with you, you go, oh, that's brilliant. If you see wrestling fans, you instantly go, oh, you wanker. Yeah. Oh, God, go away. Yeah. But no, bringing it back to the whole Dolph Ziggler thing, right? Well, you were talking about the whole, it be the making of him. It's interesting if they actually packaged together for a long time, because this would be the first time that he's had someone to sort of be the veteran, as it were. He's not even that much like older than the business in him, but in terms of like being, he's been on the roster now for God knows how long, Ziggler. And
when did he join the Spirit Squad in, when was that? 2005, was it?
That's what I was thinking. It's probably later than that.
Yeah, okay.
Probably later than that. He's been there a while.
When Vince loved cock.
I don't know why that shirt keeps getting brought up, but apparently it does.
I wonder if anyone bought that shirt.
I'm not. This is offensive.
I'd have to question why anyone bought that shirt. I'm gonna.
The only suggestion, if you buy that shirt, is if you are a guy called Vince that loves chickens or dicks. If you're a guy called Vince and you love chickens and dicks, not necessarily at the same time, because that's the weird part.
You know, we're open to everyone on this show. They love chickens, they love chickens, you know.
Yeah, if they love dicks, they love dicks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a terrible scenario all round, and it's quite impressive actually that in a conversation about Dolph Ziggler, he isn't the low point.
Fair point.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good change for him.
Do you think they're tag team, or do you think they're
I think
singles?
I think they'll be singles. I don't think they'll be a tag team.
Okay.
I think it's what you bought the Ascension over, haven't you?
And they're in a package deal with the Fashion Police. You buy one, you get one for a...
I feel sorry for the Ascension, right? Because in NXT, they weren't over. I'm not going to say they're over because they weren't, but
They were over.
Yeah, they're a good tag team in NXT, and then they come to Raw, and you've got JBL, who's the greatest person ever and not bullying, going, oh, what the hell are these guys doing?
Yeah.
Oh, look at their freaky face paint.
Imagine if a commentator tells the crowd on a weekly basis that these two people are shit, but the crowd doesn't buy into them.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, these guys are clowns. Why would I... But anyway, I don't think I'll be a tag team. They bought them over. They bought the Fashion Files over.
It's interesting enough, just from a tag team perspective, actually, because this is one person we haven't spoken about, because obviously he was in a tag team on SmackDown. They've been split up. He's come to Raw where his former tag team partner is, but he's now injured. Chad Gable.
I think that's an interesting move, because I think the guy can wrestle. I think Shelton Benjamin, Jesus, the other guy.
Yeah.
So, I think Jason Jordan's a great wrestler, right? And I think he's got his cocky little attitude, and I think he's got it. I genuinely think he's got what? Remember when Kurt Angle joined in? Was it 99?
Yeah.
Oh, Kurt Angle joined in 99. He came out and he was fighting. Was it the Godfather?
Yes.
And he got out of the ring, and halfway through, went, how dare you people boo an Olympic gold medalist, or something along those lines. And he got back in the ring, the crowd booed him. And I think Jason Jordan, he was coming across as cocky, arrogant. Oh, Daddy, can you give me this match? Daddy, can you give me this match? I thought it was great. I genuinely thought it was great.
Before he got injured, it was a very brilliant, subtle heel turn.
It was, yeah.
Two questions in. Have they sort of cooled on him because of the initial push, and they're just sort of resetting it with Chad Gable? Or are they bringing Chad Gable in to sort of ignite them both?
I think it'll ignite them both.
I
think Chad Gable's a good wrestler. I'll feud at some point, yeah.
No, I would say like immediately though.
Not immediately, no.
Do we know like when he's due back?
I thought he was due back after WrestleMania, so I don't know when.
Okay,
I thought he was back by now, so I don't know, to be honest. Chad Gable, I don't know. He's a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler. I don't know if he's got it. I think he might be Giannetti of the partnership.
Why is that always a thing now? Like, you don't have to have that.
You do. You have to have it. No, it's not me and you. You're going to be the Giannetti at the end of the day.
It's funny, I was trying to like ignore it, but now I'm really offended. But the problem is for me, it's a really horrible comparison, because it's like turning around and going, one of you two is going to be, like, in my opinion, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and who can compare to that? There aren't many wrestlers who you could put up against Shawn Michaels and it wouldn't look bad.
No, I agree with that.
But yeah, we've actually thoroughly like done the tag teams on Raw. It's quite impressive. It's become like a theme. Almost as if we planned this. We definitely didn't.
No, we did not. Who else is there? Baron Corbin? How's that jackass doing on Raw, man? I like Baron Corbin. Right, I think he's a good wrestler.
I think you and Vince McMahon are in a camp of two.
Hang on. Vince McMahon loves big, oily men.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin is not a big, oily man. Baron Corbin is just a decent stature. He's good shape and whatnot. And I think he's a good wrestler. And he can talk, given the opportunity. And if you watch Talking Smack, right, that guy can talk.
Oh, yeah.
Which really pisses me off when he's put in front of a camera and going, oh, this is the script, suffer and succotash. There's some jackass writer in the back. Just let the guy talk. You can obviously do it.
In that regard, then, because I'm sort of going to contradict myself from earlier on here, but, you know, it wouldn't be the first contradiction in wrestling. Certainly won't be the first contradiction in this podcast. I said that if you go to Raw as like the finished article, Baron Corbin is very much not the finished article.
Not by a long time.
So, is this almost dangerous in a sense that he could, I don't know, worst case scenario, not be with the company?
I don't know about not being with the company, but I think he's going to be treated as a jobber on Raw. He's going to be cannon fodder to people like Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
I think, to be honest with you, regardless of that, they already cut his legs off when he cashed in Money in the Bank and lost so like that. Yeah,
that was a great idea, that was, yeah. Carmella just walked in and won it, brilliant.
It's just the fact that, like, Money in the Bank is such a blessing and a curse in the sense of, like, yes, you do have that opportunity, but the way they always seem to book you is, like, an absolute... I don't even want to say jobber, because you're always positioned well enough on the card, but, like, they've got this weird fetish with, like, keeping people who have important titles that aren't the main titles, like the US title, the IC title, Money in the Bank, just keep them losing for no particular reason.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And what it does is it forces people into a situation whereby if you cash in and lose, what are you then? Because the whole point was you kept losing, but you still got money in the bank.
Yeah.
So now what have you got? We've said about the Usos and about the whole thing of you going to like SmackDown to be rehabilitated. Has there genuinely, and I'm opening this up, and if you can't think of anything, you can't think of anything. Has there ever been a case of someone going to Raw and being rehabilitated? I just don't think this has happened.
No. Let me have a think before I answer.
10 hours pass.
Steve Austin. No, sorry.
Jeez.
I can't. I genuinely can't.
No,
I can't.
I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I can't think of one, and I would be willing to bet that it's not that likely. Before we move on, because we've much like Roman Reigns dominated Raw. Is there anything you want to say before we move on?
I actually like Roman, just to the record. I love you, Roman.
It's weird, as a wrestling podcast, we've got not one but two co-hosts that actually are really high on Roman Reigns. I like
Roman Reigns.
I'm genuinely indifferent. So
great wrestler. I think he's a great wrestler.
If nothing else, this is why we're different to every other podcast, because they fucking hate him. Right, there's a couple I just want to quickly mention before we move on.
I want to mention one before we carry on.
Okay, I'll let you mention yours, because I do want to rattle through these. There's not a great deal of... I was going to say talent left, but that's really harsh.
Who the hell... I do know who this guy is. Who the hell is Mike Kanellis? And what the hell is that guy doing on Raw?
You were so disparaging by both getting his name wrong and the fact that you pretended to not know who he was. For a split second, I thought you were The Rock.
Sorry. No, seriously, who the hell is this guy and why is he on Raw?
I can't even tell if you're being sarcastic anymore.
I know he's that woman's husband.
Actually, no, that's reverse sexism. Yes.
Okay, I want to say this woman. What's her name, Maria?
Yeah.
Right. I know it's Maria Kanellis. Is it Kanellis?
Kanellis, yeah.
Kanellis' husband.
Yeah.
Who the hell is this guy?
Just a guy, Mike Bennett, who was on Ring of Honor, and now he's...
Mike Bennett? He was Blues goalkeeper in '99, wasn't he?
Jeez.
Oh, it was Ian Bennett, sorry.
So basically what you're saying is you're not a fan of his in-ring work.
Oh, I haven't seen a single match.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's hard to be a fan when you've not seen a match.
Is he, go on, give me his in-ring style then.
At this point, I could say anything. I could say he's got like 5 arms, and you wouldn't even know.
Is he a man of 1,003 holds?
With 5 arms, you'd fucking think so. Jeez.
As long as he's putting 4 arm bars in, I'm happy with it.
Hang on, just because you have 5 arms does not mean you can put that many arm bars in, unless you have too many in the ring. It has to be a handicap match.
Hey, you can put 2 legs in there. You know, it can be like a...
Yeah, but that would be arm bars and leg bars at the same time. Is a leg bar a thing? A leg bar is not a thing, surely.
I think it is. Oh, okay, forget this bit. I'm thinking. Who is this guy? I've seen him, but who is it?
Just some... I don't know. It's hard for me to say, because I feel like I'm sort of his entire career rests on my description of him.
It's a leg bar. Oh, it's a leg bar. It's a knee bar.
Yeah.
Knee bar, that'll do, won't it?
So what we're suggesting is if you have 5 arms, then you could potentially get 4 in one go.
Yeah.
I still think that's a bit of a twister game gone wrong.
Actually, I like this guy. When's he fighting Seth Rollins in the IC title?
You'll know which one it is, because it's the one with 5 singlets. I don't know why 5 arms means you have that many singlets, but fine. It's moving him aside then.
Okay.
And I'm not going to be quite as sort of disparaging as the rest of these, but I thought just by simply name checking him we were going to be disrespectful, but you've just suddenly like shot that to shit.
Hang on, I've shot him to the moon. What are you talking about? He's putting 4 arm bars in.
Fair enough. Does the Riot Squad moving mean anything?
Yeah, I think they've got it there. I was watching Sheamus' YouTube workout videos the other day, and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are in there, and they come across as nice people. Mm-hmm. That's great. I actually enjoyed the video, and I thought it was good, but they're not nice people in the wrestling. You know, it's real. I think they need... I don't think they're the finished article. Mandy Rose, certainly. She didn't have an NXT match, did she?
I'm not sure.
She had 1 NXT match or 2. It weren't very many. And you can just tell in the ring, she's good. Don't get me wrong, she's good at what she does. And so I think she's got the look, she's got the ability in the future.
We were talking about Chad Gable and his potential to go either with or against Jason Jordan. Would you?
I think the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot, I think she's worked a craft for years, actually.
It is funny, we talked about Jason Jordan and Chad Gable moving to Raw. They've kept Absolution and the Riot Squad apart, which feels sort of strange to me because there was an opportunity there to maybe sort of, you speaking about how they're not finished articles, I think if you just sort of put them together as like almost a superstar, you could have had an opportunity there for them to sort of grow together, but they're obviously still going to try and keep them apart to have that, I don't know, I don't even know if they're a thing, like carrying on.
The Riot Squad, you mean?
No, Absolution and the Riot Squad, because the whole
Absolution
point...
will carry on as a tag team, I think. I think they'll carry on. No wrestle singles matches as they've been doing on Raw, really.
Fair enough.
The Riot Squad are good. It's nice to have a fresh tag team or a fresh group on Raw.
We could easily just sort of link this onto SmackDown now, and we will, but there is one, the last person to mention, we haven't talked about him, and I'm not, I don't know if...
It's Jinder Mahal? Or?
No, we've already spoken.
Oh, okay, alright.
I don't know if you're going to go all in on him like you did on Mike Canales, but Mojo Rawley, I'm just going to leave it at that.
I think we should leave it there. Move
Yeah, yeah, indeed.
No, I like Mojo Rawley. He's got a good look. He's intense. Let's put it that way.
The whole thing with Zack Ryder, it sort of showcased that proverbial Michael Cole going, he's got an aggressive side to him.
Actually, Zack Ryder's come over as well. Eh? That'll give him a good feud for about 3 minutes.
I actually, do you know what? It sounds really bad that I was leaving Mojo Rawley to last, but I actually left Zack Ryder to last without even meaning to. Just like the Bookers, I completely forgotten about Zack Ryder. I feel so proud of myself and also so ashamed.
Got himself over before they told him to stop it, didn't they?
Yeah, again, that's very much a podcast for another day.
Yeah.
So go on then, we're going to have to move to SmackDown now because we've gone over the top on Raw, and that's not like in the Royal Rumble sense.
Jesus.
Before I get into the actual names here, do you feel like one of the brands came out as a winner in terms of like who they got?
I think SmackDown has actually robbed Raw. Honestly.
Because we've actually broken down.
The robbed Raw that much, right? I've had Virgin Media for years and I've never recorded SmackDown, and now this has happened. I've suddenly clicked record just to watch that. I'm going to fuck Raw off, I think.
Jeez. Raw has been robbed, and also your affections have been robbed because you're going to SmackDown now. Are you sure you weren't in the Superstar Shake-Up original?
I think so.
The fan Shake-Up.
I think so. Plus I don't have to watch 3 hours instead.
That is a very, very big sort of swaying point.
I think that's an issue for another day as well.
Oh yeah, God, yeah. But simply by, and I'm going to get this out of the way because this is the headline, this was the only one really announced before actual SmackDown on Tuesday, The Miz going to SmackDown.
Great decision.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely great decision.
And it is based on, as we alluded to earlier, one thing and one thing only, Daniel Bryan coming back.
I'll tell you what, you've seen the same promo as me. That talk is smack.
Yes.
Where absolutely that Daniel Bryan went to he walked off, didn't he? Whether that was shoot or not, I don't know, but probably wasn't. Probably all for the show, but that was an amazing promo. They got him over big time. That got him over big time. And when did he move to Raw after that?
I think it was last year. Okay. Sounds stupid, but I think it was.
The Miz.
John Cena was on SmackDown last year, and it was
yeah, okay. The Miz is one of the highlights of the. It was one of the highlights of Raw. Mm-hmm. And the Miz Taraj, I feel sorry for the Miz Taraj.
Oh God,
the Miz Taraj are good. Come on, give them a job, didn't it?
I know, yeah, but it's really weird though when you're looking at it from an old school perspective of like you look who their dads are, and they're like the lackeys to the Miz.
Oh come on, IRS is a tax collector. He wasn't exactly great, was he? Kurt Hennig, different story. He hates rap because rap is crap.
Jeez. But yeah, and I think. I was expecting them to move Daniel Bryan to Raw, to be honest with you, but this...
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
he needs to... He's been out of the game for how many years? When did he pack up? 30?
Just after 32, I think.
He wrestled 31, didn't he, because he won that ladder match. I don't think he wrestled at 32, did he? Because he was in a feud with Kane, when he...
yeah.
And then he had to...
That could genuinely have been at any point.
I think that was just after WrestleMania 31.
Like, he's been out of it a while, yeah, but like, I don't think... maybe there is a potential there, but like the only thing you would say is SmackDown's live as well, so it's not really. The only thing you would say is that maybe you keep him on SmackDown because that's where the feud was created, and it's easier. Daniel Bryan and The Miz on SmackDown will have more of a chance to shine than they would have on Raw.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to do is bring Daniel Bryan over to Raw, have him feud with The Miz, and make it feel like a mid-card feud, because this is very much a main event feud. This is a feud we've been waiting for a while.
You say main event, would you take the title off AJ Styles?
Oh no, I'm not talking. When I say main event, I just mean it's a feud so big it doesn't even need the title. Do you know what? Please don't pull the trigger on that. And I know WWE does this all the time, but don't give us this at the earliest possible opportunity at like Backlash. Save this for SummerSlam or something big, please.
You know they're going to pull it at Backlash.
No,
in fact, I'll tell you that they're going to pull it before that. Have you seen the UK tour? Mm-hmm. They're coming over to the UK in May, and that's one of the matches on the tour. So they're pulling it before them.
I understand it because...
I get it.
No, just purely because in a world where you don't even know if Daniel Bryan's going to be fit like 6 months down the line, so what's the point of holding off on it? You don't even know if The Miz is going to be fit, because that's the nature of wrestling, so...
That man does not get injured.
No, he doesn't. That would be really ironic if they'd moved into SmackDown and then he got injured just before his feud with Daniel Bryan.
That would be ironic.
The promos from Daniel Bryan will be fire though. And also as well, like if The Miz wasn't enough of a headliner, I could go a couple of places here, but like Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy.
Samoa Joe's a great asset for SmackDown.
Yeah.
I love that.
Talk about rehabilitation. Samoa Joe isn't actually like completely a bust. He's not a waste, but this is the perfect place for him to thrive.
I agree. I thought you meant his injuries.
No.
Problem with Samoa Joe is the crowd love the guy. If you get to a smarky town like I don't know, Brooklyn or I know New Orleans is different, but he comes out here, everyone goes Joe, Joe, Joe.
The weird thing with Raw is there's a definite sort of upper echelons of the cards whereby you can't really penetrate that ceiling.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is the rest of it that's below, they get treated as like, I'm not saying they get treated poorly, but the crowd, specifically the audience, treats them differently because we know that they're not that big stars in the company's eyes. It's difficult because Samoa Joe isn't pushed as hard as Roman Reigns and isn't pushed as Brock Lesnar. I get the reasons for both. I understand the reasons for both. SmackDown is a very different entity. SmackDown is Joe's wouldn't take that much to get him on the level of AJ Styles and Nakamura. And also as well, the funny thing about that is you're saying, oh, they cheer him because of his, and I'm going to be like disparaging here, hashtag work rate, but that is what the top of the card of SmackDown is, full stop.
I agree with that.
I don't think that, especially on SmackDown, when you kind of just let them get on with it. One of the good things about SmackDown is it allows wrestlers to just get on with it without the politics and the bullshit of Raw. But one of the things that I think is a hindrance and detrimental to them is just shoving them in a ring. You're not giving them a reason.
Ah, fair point.
And that may help. Like, for instance, if Samoa Joe turned face, right, would he be lost in the shuffle?
Yeah.
Really?
I think he would.
I honestly don't think he would.
The top faces on SmackDown.
AJ Styles.
Yep.
Jeff Hardy.
Yep. Randy Orton.
I forgot about him for a reason.
Why do you hear voices in your head?
Yeah, they cancel me, they talk to me, they tell me to forget Randy Orton.
My point is, right, can he break into that top three? There's generally 3 top stars. Outside of that, do you really care?
The sad part is...
Not you. Do the fans really care?
I know, the sad part is that, like, I was trying to talk myself into a Joe face turn. I'm now trying to talk myself into Jeff Hardy versus Joe.
Could bring up Big Cass at some point.
We can bring him up right now, yeah.
Alright. I'm glad he's back, and I'm glad he's rehabilitated, right. What do you honestly think of him? I think the guy is an average worker.
Oh, fire.
I think he's an average worker. I don't think he's great. I think he's got the potential to be great. And he's a good big man. I don't think the guy can talk.
Oh, no, that's what I was fully prepared.
Go on then.
I was fully prepared to like listen to that, but no. I think he can talk.
Enzo covered his ass.
I think Enzo and the promos that he was cutting in NXT, and to start with before the WWE machine sort of dropped the ball with them big time, was on such a level that you sort of ignored the work that Cass was putting in. Here's the question I would ask. How long has he been around?
But I'm Raw.
Yeah, no, just full stuff, like training, everything.
I don't know.
Probably not that long.
Not that long, no.
Yeah, so,
really.
like, I'm not going to turn around and say to you that I think this guy is the next big thing, hashtag Brock Lesnar from 2002 or whatever it was. But he has the look. I think he's a better worker than you think he is.
He's an average worker. Yeah. Sidewalk slam, that's what he's
I'm not being funny. He won't have to worry about his tag team partner trying to kill himself every match now. And I think, like, from what I saw in some of the promos in NXT, and what the thing is, the funny thing about this is, I watched those promos for Enzo.
Yeah.
But what I ended up seeing was Big Cass showing some personality, especially when Enzo was injured, which happened a lot. We're going to have to leave Big Cass aside, which is funny because he had a tag team partner who then left him aside, and we're not going to get into the reasons why. It's because he turned heel on him, that's why.
That's why.
Yes. No further words needed. What we do have is a tag team that we're always stacked with tag teams, and funny enough, what SmackDown has done is pulled the rug from under them and taken the pinnacle of the tag team scene on Raw.
Who are?
The Bar.
Don't mess with the great voice.
I've got him here besides us, actually. There, Seamus.
That would be really funny if the actual doll you had could actually say, yes, I'm here on the podcast. I don't think they come with that setting though.
It's not a Furby.
Jeez. They don't learn that quickly.
Hi, 1998.
Jeez. Interesting move, actually. What we do get to see is probably a match I'd been waiting to see, or at least them put together, given both teams had had the titles for so long. The Bar versus the Usos.
That's going to be a good match. Neither of them hold back, do they? It's not exactly a dream match, is it? But it's the best.
In a tag team division, it's as close as you're going to get these days, which is funny given how much we spoke about that.
I think the SmackDown. You were talking about the Raw tag team division. I think the SmackDown tag team division is really good at the minute.
Well, that's why Raw ended up taking like that sort of aspect of it, because it was so well set up.
So you've got the Bludgeon Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're banger. I know you don't like them really, but
I
think they're banger. They're two smash mouth characters. I don't need to talk. I don't care. I can talk.
I'm ambivalent on them because when I look at them, I just see the White family who chopped out every week.
But they've got hammers. Hammers.
Yes.
You say it more, it gets better.
Yeah,
no, they've got hammers. You got the Usos, right? And you got the Bar, banger. And then you got the Good Brothers. I hate that name so much.
Oh yeah,
they're treated like jobbers. I hate it because they're good wrestlers and they're good talkers.
I say this, and you're going to probably disagree with me, right?
Go on.
You were on about the Ascension earlier.
Oh god.
These two, the Good Brothers, have been treated worse than the Ascension. But because the Ascension weren't that high of a level in the first place, no one really notices.
I agree with that. Hi, let's bury the Bullet Club, even though 20% of our audience wear t-shirts.
Also, as well, it's really funny how you want to sort of bury the Bullet Club, and then when you have Raw 25, have Triple H put the Bullet Club over and be like, yeah, I want to be part of that.
Too sweet, whoop whoop. That.
Yeah, the less said the better. The other thing as well, you're talking about tag teams. It's not necessarily a tag team, it's a group. And you mentioned the Bludgeon Brothers, and I wonder how long it's going to be before the Bludgeon Brothers come up against Sanity.
Do you watch NXT or not?
I've not seen enough of it to comment.
You've got it, so okay, fine. I've watched NXT, and I think Sanity are okay. Eric Young, all I can see, I know it's a good gimmick in TNA, right? Mm-hmm. All I can see Eric Young is TNA.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, fake storyline. That's all I can say. And I want to like the guy. I really do, because I think he's a nice guy and good wrestler. And them against the Bludgeon Brothers will be good, actually.
Yeah,
I love watching two smash mouth wrestlers kick the crap out of each other. I love watching it, which is why I wanted to see a really good match out of Ryback and Mark Henry a few years ago, because it turns out to be shit. And why I love Gold. The match can get slagged off as much as it wants. I loved that Goldberg-Lesnar match last year.
I thought that was probably my favourite match as well.
It's 5 minutes, 6 minutes of exactly what it needed to be. That was it. But if we can get a Smash Mouth match out of them two, on one pay-per-view, that'll be worth it.
That's fine. Yeah, no, there's no disagreements to be there, and I think it's the obvious way to go. Yeah. Speaking of obvious, there's only one name we'll have to mention. We've spoke about a lot, and there's some here, but R-Truth. Yeah. Yes. You saw the squirrel coming.
R-Truth. Is Little Jimmy coming? Because the internet doesn't say.
The only thing that I find interesting is that because R-Truth had that classic segment where he just goes, "My bad," which a little bit, you know.
It is funny. Come on.
Just a little.
Let your guard down, man. It's funny. Everyone loves it.
But like the fact that happened makes me think, hang on, does that mean he's on Raw, or have we read this incorrectly?
He might be headed to NXT. You don't know.
Do you know what? It sounds really bad, and we don't want to derivate too much, but heel R-Truth, the conspiracy, and the
that was his best gimmick.
Yes.
Him and the Miz.
Yes.
Do you know who buried them? Right. John Cena. Alright, Survivor Series.
There was another guy.
Who?
I know, some ball fella. He was over back in the day.
Stone Cold?
Yeah, that guy.
I don't remember that match.
Must have had him on the podcast at some point. But yeah, what I was talking about, obviously, we've got two left, and I can't pronounce his name for shit, even though he's been like really hyped for quite a while.
Andrade Alves. I can't even say it myself.
Andrade Almas. Is that how you say it?
With Selena Vega.
Indeed, yes, that's how it is. Selena with a Z.
How cool and hip for 2018, eh?
Interesting for as a call-up and as a show, and just the idea.
I think it's interesting. They need to get into the Mexican market, don't they? He was huge in Mexico, wasn't he?
I think at the end of the day, like, he's huge right now, full stop. As huge as you can be, given what he's done.
Do you know what? I saw, right, I hate people that put, oh, that was a 5-star match on the internet. I watched that NXT match with him and Johnny wrestling. It wasn't, I don't think it was a 5-star match personally, but I think it was a really, really good match. And I'll be honest, I've only seen 2 of his matches, and they were both really good and they're fast paced. And I like he hasn't really got a gimmick. He's got a valet. She's a good valet and does all the talking for him. And I think that's all he needs. If he can carry on putting on good matches, people will recognise him.
Easy to say, but very different in NXT to WWE.
Oh, completely different. It's a completely different crowd because at NXT you're in front of a.
It's not even that.
You know, it's not quite. It's not quite ACW. They've got die-hard fans in ACW. They've got die-hard fans in NXT. Right, when you come out of NXT and you go into Raw, there's 15,000 people in that arena. And I'd say a good 20, if not, I'd say probably 50% of them are bringing their kids because their kids love wrestling and they like John Cena. And they like Bayley because she's all colourful and gives people hugs and stuff like that. You get a decent wrestler from NXT, most of the crowd sit there and go, who the hell's this guy?
And not only that, you have to get over in like a 4-minute match on SmackDown as opposed to a 20-minute match on NXT.
Exactly. That's a problem, isn't it? So hopefully, I think it's good. I like the guy. I think the guy's a good wrestler, and him and his valet do a good job. But I just can't see it personally.
One person that has made the transition from NXT to the main roster and through to WrestleMania and going through a sort of interesting storyline, because it's not a storyline, but it is what it is. It's the last one that we've got to talk about. Asuka.
Seems like a lot of people are ready for Asuka nowadays, isn't it?
One.
That's a lot.
Loads, yeah.
Loads.
Yeah.
Comparison, that's loads.
Comparison to 0, yes. Exponentially a lot bigger, yeah.
I think Asuka's a good wrestler. She can't talk, obviously, but... I
don't think she needs to.
She doesn't need to. As long
She's
as
the kind of character that doesn't need to.
The Goldberg needs to talk.
No.
There we go then. That's it. Everyone.
If you go into the ring...
The second Goldberg talks is when he said, I'm going off script or something.
Jeez. But yeah. No, if you go into the ring, do an amazing job, and get out and get the win, if you do that again and again, it is like literally, you just mentioned, it is like the Goldberg formula. You don't have to.
No, I agree with that.
The only question is that what are they going to do now that the streak is gone? Because as we know...
Don't matter. Keep it up. Keep the streak up. Start again. Who cares? No one's counting victories, are they?
I know, but like...
Who counts victories? I haven't been defeated for 2 years. Who cares how many victories you've got?
Agreed, but wrestling, it's one of the cornerstones, the whole streak gimmick. Like Goldberg is obviously the easiest example. And the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania.
That was different. That was completely different.
I agree. I agree. But what ends up happening to the wrestler after the streak goes? Because it happens all the time. You get people called up. This has happened well before NXT. This happened before NXT even existed.
People referring to Ryback.
A lot of people. Yeah. You get an initial push and an initial streak, and then once that's gone, that's it. I really don't think that will be the case with Asuka. And interestingly enough, I really feared for her when she got brought up on Raw, and I was like, you're going to get lost in rawness. So, having absolutely sort of treaded those waters and sort of been thrown quite literally into the deep end and come out the other side, going to SmackDown, where you can actually sort of put on really good matches, that's perfect. She could set up that division.
She could. I mean, you can go against Charlotte. I think they teased it, didn't they, on Raw, but Absolution, there's a couple of good feuds there. That'll keep her occupied for a couple of months, and then a few tallies on the chart, so to speak.
Would you really go that route again, though?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
Well, why not?
It's an interesting angle.
It's a good gimmick. What other wrestlers done that before? Besides Goldberg.
Yeah. Second time around it wasn't.
What did he get to? 70? I don't know. Sid beat his streak, didn't he? Him and Charles Robinson were holding it up 1-0, 2-0. That was a great gimmick. I
was going to say, you're sort of talking yourself out of the own argument here. Jeez. It's an interesting, whatever way they go about it, like, it's not going to be bad. There is the potential there to, you think about, they're going to instantly throw her in there with Charlotte again, but that's not a cert. Interesting enough, we started this podcast by talking about how, you want fresh matches and you want sort of things that you haven't seen. In the case of Charlotte and Asuka, I do actually want to see that again, so I'm fine with this.
I think that was one of the better matches at WrestleMania, to be honest.
Indeed, it was very much a highlight.
It was a good match.
And you talk about that, one of the highlights, not only of WrestleMania, of your entire life, has clearly been listening to this podcast. I look at your face and the sort of, was that a emotion that says, yes, I agree with you completely?
It's the complete opposite, to be honest, but yeah.
The people didn't see it. They think you think this is amazing.
The people want to come back for more, damn it.
Exactly, yes, see, I won you over already. Thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.